Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a gradual increase in the sunshine, low 70s north, low 80s south. We will see a decrease in the cloud cover tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-40s north, low 50s south. And then sunshine Tuesday, high temperatures in the mid-60s north, low 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris.
Here's Jones on a keeper, out over the 40, to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Win today. First losing weekend for Arkansas baseball. How are we going to handle this? What is this? What does the back-to-back one-run losses by identical scores mean? With the final game yesterday going 12 innings, we'll obviously be kicking that around a lot today. Later on in the week too, playing a team in Texas A&M that's going to come in red hot. We got a dramatic Masters championship to get through as well. A wacky situation over in Knoxville that came to a head over the weekend. And Matt Jones, good morning to you. Good morning to see you and everybody listening here on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app. What's up today?
Yeah, happy Monday. Phil, I'll take the blame for this Razorback team not winning because it's the first time I've watched them all year. And if you remember last year, the first time I watched them all year was that Mississippi State series. And they lost as well. So it's that one's on me.
Are you saying you might have a little bad baseball mojo, Matt?
Man, I got to watch some of the game. Georgia looked like they had some athletes. They had a couple errors that you kind of think that it's like they were kind of making mistakes a little bit. And for whatever reason, if it's like you couldn't get off the field on third down or you couldn't get the third down to keep the ball, to use that type of analogy, just couldn't really kind of make that last play. I think those are both talented teams. I wouldn't be surprised if both those teams are hosting a regional.
Yeah, a lot of two-out hitting. That would be like the third down plays, I think. That's where Georgia scored most of their runs yesterday, especially the last two that forced the game to go into a 12th inning, and then the walk-off homer by the catcher that didn't even start the game behind the dish. It was entertaining, Matt. It was theater, actually, now that I think about it. So how did you guys watch the Masters and baseball at the same time? Because if I know you and I know Dr. Liggett, you're gonna put both of those on at the same time. I had no clue. I had absolutely no idea what had happened in the Masters outside of I just got a quick update from the Georgia broadcasters. I think when we were going into like the 10th inning or something, and they said Rory's up 4 on the second 9. They're like, all right, this thing's done. Come to find out when we land at XNA, and I hear from DJ Baxendale that it went into an added hole, an extra hole, and that Rory won. So I had no clue. I was locked in on my baseball theater, but golf theater took over the world yesterday.
Man, I'm with you, Phil. For whatever entertainment I was doing, I watched a little bit of the Masters, but I didn't see the last 5-6 holes.
Well, that's surprising. I'm a little surprised, but hey, you were locked in on baseball, so I'm with you on that.
I'm a little surprised as well, but yeah, I didn't check out as much of it as I usually do.
Well, now, I mean, so I guess this puts him in the kind of rarefied air.
That's it.
What is it? Six golfers of all time that have done the career Grand Slam?
He's 100. I've always been a Rory McIlroy fan, and now he's solidified himself as like a top 10 golfer ever. Like that's kind of what that did. It puts him. Rory McIlroy is in the discussion as being a top 10 golfer ever. 100%. That's what that did.
Well, I think you had predicted that he might win going into it.
He was playing. If you're reading the trends, if you look at his last 5 starts, there's been nobody better than him. And then Justin Rose, we've talked about how consistent he is. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, quite a way to win your career Grand Slam by nearly blowing it too. Anyway, hey, this Nico Iamaleava situation came to a head over the weekend, Matt, and he is no longer going to be a Tennessee Volunteer. I think I don't know if there, you can't say announcement or anything, but the word was he was going to go into the portal once we got off the air on Friday. Man, this just kind of seems like it blew up.
I love it. I love how Josh Heupel handled it. There's no one bigger. If he's gonna, I do not like the fact. What I'm saying is I don't like how Nico's handled it, but I love how Josh Heupel handled it. If you don't want to be here, man, we'll get somebody else.
The way when I read into this, and you hear about this from some player, well, not from the players, but these are. You wonder about who's got the influence on the player, and at this point, it can be the father. You read into this, and there are reports that Nick Iamaleava, who also is of course Madden's father, and Madden is a quarterback at Arkansas, that he kind of makes the decisions, and the kids just go along with it. I guess to a point. So I mean, it seems to me that if that is true, then Nico ends up as a victim of somebody that's about a father's. It's not even good intentions. It's, I guess, well intentioned for his kid or for whatever you're lining your pockets with, but it's not good intentions in terms of putting together a career. I mean, this is only after one season, and this is going to be the thing that goes on Iamaleava's like football epitaph for the remainder of his career. I mean, that's the way you look at it now. Or maybe I shouldn't look at it that way because, how many people were on John Elway's side when he absolutely refused to play for, who was it? The Baltimore Colts refused that. Same with Eli Manning, and I'm not going to play for the San Diego Chargers. This is different, though. This is somebody that was already there, that was under contract, as I understand, too, and is making heavy demands that they might not have even be able to meet and still try to put together a team that can win games. So, man, it blows up in their face. And it's just an ugly look right now in college football, but there's so many different avenues to take it, Matt. And if you want to take it by the avenue that you started with there on Heupel and Tennessee, and I guess Danny White too, just kind of creating a hard line and saying, look, if you're going to try to keep us hostage at this point, no thank you.
He's not that
we'll
good.
Find somebody else.
Like he's good. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not that good. Like he's not a top 5 quarterback. Like I get it if you're a top 5 quarter. Like think about Johnny Manziel, like his last year or whatever. The amount that he came out and said, like, what is Nico really good at? He's an average quarterback right now.
That's it's a lot of the, and I think in college we're looking at things much differently than you do in pro sports where. When you get drafted, and you're paid a certain amount based on a slot. It's not really based on your potential. It's based on the slot that you're drafted and how that slot is viewed in terms of value. And then once you continue throughout your career, you're paid for what you've done. You're paid for I think what is viewed as this is the return we get off of the money that we're going to spend. And I think the way that Iamaleava has looked at this is because you're right, Matt. He was okay last year.
He's come see, come saw.
Yeah.
It's like, but he needs to get better. He's a baby.
Are you really paying $4 million for what it was that they got from him last year? That's what I'm saying. Or is it, look, you have to have a quarterback. You have to have a quarterback who's got experience, and you don't have anybody else on this roster that's got experience, so I'm going to hold your feet to the fire until I absolutely screw myself out of an opportunity.
I'd pay for Drew Aller, the kid at Penn State. I think he's one of the best. You know what Ohio State did when they went and got Will Howard from Kansas State? You went and got a guy that had just took Kansas State to the Big 12 championship. You got a proven winner. You know, how many big games has Nico won?
Can I think of any of them right now?
You know, they got blown out in the first game of the playoffs. I mean, they didn't win. What'd they go? They went 0-1, I think.
Man, I mean, he had a chance to kind of direct a game-winning drive at Razorback Stadium, and I remember him running out of bounds on the last play of the game. That's not what you'd be paying $4 million for in today's day and age.
You know, Dylan Gabriel, that would have been another one. The kid that went OU to Oregon, how they did it. Like, that's a guy that had success, that you knew that he's a winner.
It also says a lot about the football portal calendar and how this system right now just appears to be completely broken. And, oh, by the way, we still don't have any settlement that's been approved for the future of college sports. The portal's about to open too, Matt. Like, I think it's in 2 days. The football portal opens, and right now there are no rules. None. There are no rules as to what college football is supposed to look like, right? It's supposed to work out just perfectly. The House settlement was supposed to be approved last Monday. It hasn't been. There's still some sticking points. And if it's not approved before the portal opens, you literally are about to have a no rules, wild, wild west, look at the great frontier until the thing is approved. Because they've been building these rosters based on the idea that this settlement is going to be approved and we're going to have this sort of money to spend, and it's not been approved. So you know what that means? Uncapped. It's like uncapped. I love the term unfettered free agency in the NFL, because there isn't unfettered free agency in the NFL. We've got a whole system of franchising players and transitioning and tags and the dates that go along with it and all. Matt, you are literally about to see true, unfettered college football free agency, and it is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. And like you always say, and I think about
buckle up, man.
Well, it's like you always say, and I try to put myself in your shoes as somebody that was a highly marketable college athlete when you played at Arkansas. It is a great day and age and era to be a college athlete, is it not?
Man, it's a wonderful time to be an American and to be a college athlete right now. I mean, has there been a better time in the history of life to be a college athlete? I don't think so. And I think Nico's getting some bad advice. You stay in Tennessee for all 4 years. You know, Peyton Manning, you talk about the alum, the lore, the tradition there. Keep putting up numbers. You have a spot in Tennessee forever. You know, you start bouncing around chasing that dollar. You know, how much more are you getting? I don't think like it. That's why I really love what Braylon Russell did. Arkansas kid could have left for more money, but stays in state. You know, the state to take care of him forever.
Well, I guess somebody talked some sense into him. Either that, or maybe they, gave what the demand would have been, or at least found a way to negotiate somewhere into the middle. And obviously, that did not happen in this situation. So what an amazing deal going on right now, and it's crazy to think about. Would you say, like, anybody that's a college football fan or someone that covers the sport, or even administrators all around the country, this is like the one way for 95% of the people that pay attention to this kind of thing to be in the University of Tennessee's corner. Like, that's the thing about this, too. When you watch how people have reacted about this, and I agree with Josh Heupel and Tennessee's decision to cut their starting quarterback. That's what they've done. Everybody's on Tennessee's side. This reminds me, Matt, this is Nico Iamaleava is the Matthew Sluka of the spring football season, right? Nobody was on that kid's side when he made his demands after 3 or 4 games, and they told him to go kick rocks. And now he's going to be quarterbacking James Madison. Like, I think Iamaleava is he's a very talented
He's a Power 5 quarterback, 100%, yeah.
Yes, but he has turned into the Matthew Sluka of spring football.
You think how many days or hours was it that Braylon Russell gave us the pump fake? Was it a full week? Was it just 3 days? Any way you think this relationship gets prepared is what I'm saying.
Nope, absolutely not. I think
repaired.
No, I don't think there's any way at all. From what I've read, there hasn't been any contact whatsoever between even Coach Heupel and Iamaleava. None whatsoever. So I don't know if it's a matter of bridges being burned or that's just a river that doesn't have a bridge anyway. Here's halftime for a Monday. We'll break here. We'll open up our Lewis Automotive hotline for the next segment and for a good chunk of the show today because just one guest. It's in about 15 minutes. Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin joins us. So if you got any questions about the baseball team and the series against Georgia, thoughts on Gabe Gackle potentially, send them into us on the text line as well, 877-377-6963. Or make a phone call, and we'll have a conversation about it too. It's halftime, and we're back in just a moment.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Davalon, a swing and a high drive deep to right field. Charles Davalon out of here for a go-ahead home run. There's a high drive by Bahiba. Deep into center. He got absolutely all of it. And it's back-to-back home runs. A slider belted by Aloy. Back-to-back-to-back. It's 3 home runs in a row. Oh, my goodness.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
The hens are a yelping and the toms are a gobbling. That means it's time for turkey season. Strut on in to Jelco Outdoors for all your turkey hunting gear. The largest selection of mouth calls, friction calls, box calls, and locator calls in the area. Ammo with a large selection of TSS turkey loads, plus a great selection of shotguns for youth and adults in 410, 20, and 12 gauge. Get ready for spring turkey season at Jelco Outdoors, home of the World Slam. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Freaks ride around on wheelchairs, motorized by electric motors, made by goblins and factories overseas. They're there to buy drywall and other products so they can eat back at home on the sofa. They watch TV about a man named Chandler Bing who died in a freak hot tubbing accident. He spent his time drinking flavored water on a popular TV show called Tub Girls. Oh, I pay for anything, clothes and food and drugs for free. If it was 1970, I'd have a job in a factory. That's made of me, and you're in the end, looking at see. I ain't gonna stop everything I see. I just want to feel clear.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
The word theater thrown around a lot to describe the Masters, specifically yesterday. Arkansas baseball on a Sunday, tons of theater too. This is Vahiva Aloy in the ninth inning with the Hogs down to their final out.
2-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to deep center field. Running back is Obi. Aloy has tied the game with a 2-out home run over the batter's eye in the ninth inning. Out of here, number 12 for Vahiva Aloy.
The guy's making himself a legend for just ninth inning home runs. It's the second time he's done it with either a game-tying shot or a go-ahead home run like he hit against Ole Miss. The Hogs took the lead a couple of innings later, and you talk about theater, that's when, unfortunately, Georgia finds a way to tie the game down to their final out. Aiden Jimenez, who'd been dominant, hits their best hitter, Zaborowski, on the elbow with a fastball and brings up Trey Phelps, who had been 0 for 8 in the series until this.
Iredale going to try to take away a double. Pitch. A fly ball to deep left field towards the gap. That one is off the bottom of the wall. Davalon picks it up cleanly. Jackson to third, going to try to send him home. Here's Aloy's throw to the plate, and he slides in safely. Still tied now in the 11th inning. So great play by Davalon, a good throw by Aloy, but Jackson scores the game's tying run on a double off the fence by Trey Phelps.
This is one of those plays where the Hogs outside of the pitch did everything absolutely right. It was a perfect job on the fence by Davalon, a great throw home by Aloy, but that's why you put a pinch runner in for the big 6'6", 240-pound designated hitter. And it was just a brilliant move by Wes Johnson, who I think did manage a great series. And then when you're hoping to get to the 13th inning and Cole Gibbler had been dealing, you get the number 9 batter who had not even started the game, and I hated to finish the series with this.
Gibbler looking to fight back, 3-1. A high fly to center field. He hit it well. Going back is Thomas. Justin at the wall. He leaps. Georgia wins. Georgia wins. Henry Hunter hits a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 12th inning with 2 outs to straightaway center field. The Bulldogs win it 7-6.
I'll tell you this. I love calling tight, exciting, well-played games. I won't try to tell you that was a very well-played game. Hogs had some sloppy at-bats. Georgia's pitchers deserve credit for a lot of that, but Georgia also committed 5 errors, And if you're the Razorbacks, that's being handed a game on a silver platter. You should not be losing games where the opponent makes 5 errors, whether the game's played on the road or at home or on Jupiter. So it's not that worries me. It's just that's a game you should have won, unfortunately. But it was really a great game, and it was a fun one to call. It's just you hate losing anyway. You hate losing like that. To be down to your final out in the 9th inning, and then to have the opponent down to their final out in the 11th inning, and then you end up giving up a walk-off an inning later. It was a tough one, but it was a really fun series. It was a well-played series for the most part, with the exception of, I'd say, Georgia in the field in some of the at-bats yesterday. And most of the texts that have come in are about Gabe Gackle and where he can fit in to the pitching staff for the time being. Matt, you remember Gackle was named by D1 Baseball the SEC preseason pitcher of the year. I hate preseason award. I despise them so much. We don't do this in professional sports. We do this in college sports. And sometimes it sets expectations for somebody. It's not a matter of them being unreachable, but it's like, all right, well, we said you were going to be the best in the league, and if you're not, well, that means you were a disappointment. It's not always the case. This has been a disappointing season so far for Gackle. There's no two ways about it. Somebody that has first-round stuff, first-round makeup, has an ERA of 7.27 and allows a 282 batting average, and is having trouble making it through 2 to 3 innings as a starter. So there'll be a change, and that's something that Dave Van Horn had said in our pregame talk Sunday. You know, all you had to say, we're just going to make a change, and that's what's going to happen. So this next weekend when A&M comes in, the Friday game is, now I don't know if you move Beidelshees up to Friday or if he stays Saturday. My guess is he'll pitch Saturday since he pitched Sunday this last week. But my guess would be Ben Bybee is the next weekend starter, as good as he's been in long relief on weekends and had a chance to start previously and had SEC starts last year. I also think Aiden Jimenez has such an important role now that he's shown that he can go twice on a weekend, that he won't start for now. Bybee, I think, will be the next one. And, you know, it's like with Gackle, you can be a starter, you can be a reliever. Sometimes a pitcher is just made to be a reliever over a starter. It's just that's not how anybody pictured Gackle because of the makeup, because of his there's a little bit of like a stoicism to him that you kind of appreciate as a starting pitcher compared to a reliever. And he's got the repertoire to be a starter. And I think in the future he will be. It just he needs a way to get right again, and he was really comfortable coming out of the pen last year. So I don't think this is a matter of relegating him to the bullpen and just the back of the bullpen. I think he's going to get the ball in a very important spot this next week, and we'll see if it works out. Because as a freshman, the pressure he was put in not just as a reliever, but as a reliever that would inherit runners and usually strand them. That's also part of the surprise about not doing well as a starter. So we'll see what happens this next week, but it is a major change. And it also goes, it's another, I hate the preseason awards, man. It's just if you didn't win the postseason pitcher of the year award in the league, then you're supposed to be a disappointment.
As a player, you kind of see players know who's good and not, but you understand that when you play football or you play basketball, you understand kind of the certain guys, and because these people that vote on that, you don't know how intelligent they are and how much they know how to evaluate talent. They just kind of look at numbers. That's why, like, you'd have the Alabama quarterback might be, up there just because he's the Alabama quarterback. I think there's some of that with Gage. He's the Arkansas Razorback pitcher. So that they just kind of say, well, he's got to be amazing if he's next in line.
It's just that the stuff is there, and he hasn't lost his stuff. There's just really he's not locating. Breaking balls are not locating well. I saw a lot of them that were up on 2 strikes. Just had a lot of trouble finishing batters off in Athens. You get to 2 strikes, but you can't succeed. And this is where people will be, in baseball, if you succeed 30% of the time, you're going to go into the Hall of Fame. No, pitchers are expected to succeed. About 80 to 85% of the time, basically. And it's not just through a single at batter. It's a matter of focusing on one pitch. You got to be out there. You can't make a series of mistakes as a starting pitcher. And sometimes that mistake is usually the mistake is the last pitch of the at bat. And it comes when you've done well getting ahead of the hitter and you just don't finish him off because you didn't finish that pitch the way that you're supposed to. He's showing getting ahead of a lot of hitters at times. He's showing the stuff is there. He's just not finishing them off. So I have faith that he's going to be okay, but you do worry about somebody at this point. Now you're being relegated into a different role. Hopefully it's more comfortable to him. You just sometimes wonder about somebody that's being taken. He's already been taken off the Fridays. Now he's being taken off of out of the rotation. That's kind of two relegations in the same season. So it's not a matter of like having a dented sense of pride or anything like that. It's just you hope it's not a third relegation afterwards because he's too good for that to happen. Much too good. Like this is a potential first round draft choice. Just doesn't. It also goes to show how difficult pitching can be.
Yeah, man, and I saw over the weekend a kid that it's the kid from LSU, Corinne Lacey, not found alive, and I really thought that dude was uber talented. I thought he could play on Sundays, and it's just a shame his last few months, and you kind of have a heavy heart for him and everything. It's kind of been a bad deal for him.
Man, it's really been. I know it was a really rough few months because I think he
had a hit and run.
He was about to go to trial for a hit and run.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see that. I think you had a kid a couple years ago that got in trouble in Vegas. It was a receiver that played for the Raiders, hit somebody who's from Alabama, same type of thing. And you have all this going on in Georgia as well. So it just kind of gives me a little heavy heart today.
Dennis is on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Dennis, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Hey, Phil, Matt. Hey, I just want to let you know, and you've covered a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. I went to Athens for the series and thought it was a great environment. I hate the field and, the AstroTurf, but, they've really made some good improvements to their ballpark. And, I just thought it was a case of two really good teams that battled and probably two teams that could easily be in Omaha. But, I wanted to talk about Gackle because it's obvious that he's not the same guy that he was last year, and you covered it. I just think a lot of guys are more comfortable coming out of the bullpen, maybe, and I think he could be one of those guys. But I think Bobby, if he steps into that spot, will do great. But I'm also a little concerned about some of our middle of our batting order. I mean, Irondale and some of those guys that just really hit a cold slump here all of a sudden, and hopefully we get those guys turned around for A&M.
Dennis, I appreciate your phone call. Yeah, there were some concerning at bats, I think, throughout the series. It's just a matter of kind of getting back to where they were before. And Iredale, I mean, I think Iredale will be okay. But yeah, he didn't have a really good series. Neither did Davalon. But it's one weekend, and in one case, it's just one or two games. So you just kind of hope that they're able to get back to where they were previously, and I think they will. And yeah, I like Foley Field. Foley's a nice ballpark. I didn't like what they did to the turf, but there's a lot of places that are doing it. And by the way, about Gage Wood, had a good bullpen, reported good things back from it. I think there's a good chance, we'll see later this week, that he could be active on the roster for A&M. Not as a starter. I don't think he'll be a starter right now. I think he'll pitch in relief. So that's what we got on baseball. Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin coming up in a moment. This is halftime.
Woo, pig suey there. I did it.
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's business solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
The hens are a yelping and the toms are a gobbling. That means it's time for turkey season. Strut on in to Jelco Outdoors for all your turkey hunting gear. The largest selection of mouth calls, friction calls, box calls, and locator calls in the area. Ammo with a large selection of TSS turkey loads. Plus a great selection of shotguns for youth and adults in 410, 20, and 12 gauge. Get ready for spring turkey season at Jelco Outdoors, home of the World Slam. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hit the greens for a meaningful cause at Mercy Fort Smith's Birdies for Babies Golf Classic on May 12th at Hardscrabble Country Club. This 4-person scramble features morning and afternoon tee times, with all proceeds benefiting maternal child services and our Level 3A NICU, helping keep families close to home. Enjoy a great day of golf while helping provide essential care for moms and babies right here in the community. Sign up today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies for babies or call 479-314-1133 for more information.
Crane Team is your home for all your automotive needs in the River Valley. With 2 big Crane, Kia, and Hyundai locations in Fort Smith, the Crane Team has the perfect vehicle for you. From pickup and delivery to service after the sale, plus our famous huge Crane Cash discounts. The Crane Team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Got an apartment with a big TV. I'm a big boy. I pay my rent, so I got somewhere to sleep. A big soft hotel, your man said keep this distance from me. I'm a big store, baby, I need a big old bag to satisfy me.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Pick Trail Nation's Mike Irwin on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Monday morning. Good morning, Mike. How was your weekend? What's up?
No, people are depressed over this Georgia series. Arkansas finally ran into a situation where they just didn't have enough hitting to make up for some. It wasn't terrible pitching. Once again, the story is the starting pitcher kind of gets you in a hole on the Saturday and Sunday games. And look, the way they came back on Sunday, I thought they had it won. You get one out away, and you got arguably your hottest pitcher out there on the mound, and he's pitching to a guy that's 0-4, and you think, man, this thing's over. Baseball's never over till it's over. He plunks the guy. They put in a pinch runner for him, and then they bat him around from first base. The pinch runner bound from first base and tie it up. And then, it goes another inning, and they had a solo home run and win the thing. And you just had a guy call me. He was so mad because he was looking at the Baseball America poll, and Arkansas dropped all the way to fourth behind Georgia and Tennessee, even though they're ahead both in the conference standings. But guys, look, we're halfway through the conference race. I mean, you're sitting there one game out of first place halfway through. That's not bad.
Well, I guess some folks think the team's just they want them to be indestructible, right? Like you can't beat them. Yeah. But it's just that doesn't happen in this sport very often. And look, it's not that they're necessarily beatable. It's just I thought Georgia played a little bit better than Arkansas did this last weekend. The starting pitching is concerning, though. Beidelshe's got a little trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark. Gackle, now sounds like he's going to be pulled from the rotation. Zach Root I thought Zach Root was good, but he wasn't great against Georgia. That is a tough lineup. The bullpen, though, has grown. Right now, if you're looking at pitching, relief pitching is this team's strength.
Yeah, that's what's moving ahead. That's what's going to if they win this thing, that's what's going to do it. Now, people have this nervous eye on A&M. I think they've won 5 straight conference games, but I looked at somebody said, well, they can win it all. Well, they would have to win all 15 remaining games to get to 21 wins. And I would say both Arkansas and or Texas would have a chance of, bettering that. And Texas, I think, would just have to win something like, I don't know, they have to go 9-6 maybe. Arkansas 10-5 to beat that. So I don't think A&M is going to win the league. But A&M is playing a lot of these teams that are in contention. Play Arkansas this week, play Texas. They're still going to play Georgia. They're still going to play LSU. So they could do a lot of damage to all of those teams if they keep doing what they're doing at the plate. And that's what was wrong with them for so much of the year. They just couldn't hit.
Do you think it's as simple enough as far as, crowd control with the fans that you got A&M coming in? If Arkansas goes 2-1 with the homestand with the Aggies, is it kind of alleviate everybody's concerns?
Yeah, I think that would help. You don't want to lose a series to these guys, and cooling them off a little bit would certainly, I think, make people feel a lot better. But guys, I mean, all you got to do is look at 2021, where you were number one most of the year, and you won the SEC tournament, and you're just rolling, and you roll through the regional, and then you get to the super and score 20-something runs in the first game, and you think you're on the way, and then boom, the bottom drops out. And the one year that they've been to the College World Series lately was a year in which they didn't host. They go to Oklahoma State and then just worked their way up to Omaha and got within within a run or two of making it to the championship series. So you can't figure baseball. It's just you have this whole big build-up, and it goes this way and that way and whatever, but everything boils down to what you do. Can you get to Omaha? And with Arkansas fans, a lot of them, they're not going to be happy until they win it all to erase the memory of 2018.
Football portal's about to open, Mike. We don't have a no-house settlement right now, so there aren't any rules. I don't know. It feels to me like there could be some real craziness that could go down once the portal opens, and I think it opens on Wednesday. Any insight into what could happen in terms of, I don't know, an exodus? We know what they're looking for. They're looking for defensive backs. They're looking for defensive linemen specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard specifically. I'm not Otis, so I don't follow that like he does. But here's the point, guys. that whole thing at Tennessee comes down. It's the first time that coaches have actually revealed sort of what happened. Everybody sort of knew what was going on with Braylon Russell last year with all this stuff in the portal, out of the portal, maybe going to Ole Miss, maybe not. But this thing at Tennessee gave you a real look at how parents and agents and players are looking out for a better deal. And it's not looking good for the player right now. And that may be what we need with Congress still, hasn't passed this thing, but that may be what gets us over the hump and makes people realize college sports fans don't want this stuff. They don't want it going on. They don't want people stealing people out of the portal. And honestly, that scrimmage Saturday, and I'm not expecting to see a whole lot out of the red-white game because coaches don't want to show what they've got because they know who's out there watching and going, hey, I might pick this guy up, might get that guy up. Let's pull him in. So I don't care who you are. You got to be a little uneasy until we get this thing settled because, again, as long as the portal is when it is, right after the end of spring, who wants to have a good spring game and have a lot of guys show out and look like they're set for the fall, and then all of a sudden you wake up and find out 5 of them are gone?
I mean, I thought that happened in the bowl game. Maybe you don't play some of these guys in the bowl game. Look at our best receiver just set a record for longest touchdown pass in Arkansas Razorback history. Has one game gone.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I think this thing is going to pass. I would feel a lot better if it already had, but Arkansas's got to face a decision next year maybe about who the starting quarterback is. You got the brother of the kid who took off. I don't try to pronounce these names, but, what's he – if you're an Arkansas coach, you're not going to say this out loud, but if you're trying to decide if K.J. Jackson is the starting quarterback or this kid's the starting quarterback and you know what his brother did the year before, are you sitting there thinking, what if we name him the starter and then he hits the portal right after that? Hopefully all of this gets settled before that happens, but it's a problem everywhere.
Well, so let's look at it from the other aspect here, because this is blowing up in the Iamaleava family's face. And specifically, it hurts Nico. And it could hurt Madden, who's the Razorback, but I would like to think that the family looks at what's happened here and might reconsider the next time that they're thinking about this. Because it hasn't everybody. Nope, I don't know many people that are in Nico's corner as far as public is concerned.
I mean, it's been a public relations disaster for him, and it's what's happening is fans are finally just, and guys, what's ironic about this? Tennessee is one of the schools that started this.
Yeah,
they were one of the schools that filed a lawsuit. I don't think the school did it, but their boosters did it. Filed a lawsuit against the NCAA 3 or 4 years ago. Tied the NIL rules up in court, and so they're not enforceable, haven't been for 2 or 3 years, and that's what's caused this mess. And look at them now. It's coming back to bite them, and now they're saying we got to do something. So I'm glad, it's finally come to this point where even schools where it was considered okay to go buy players and try to win championships by buying players are now realizing this doesn't work. It doesn't work with the fans. It doesn't work with their own fans, because if you do that, you can also have it done to you. And we just need some to get some stability back in this sport. Pro football has better rules on this stuff than the college game does right now.
Oh, yeah, they have a system that actually works, that does work. I don't know if this college football system works yet because we don't really have one at the moment. Mike, appreciate you hopping on as always on these Mondays. Thanks a lot.
See you guys.
Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. We appreciate his time Mondays here on Halftime. Lunchtime. The All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater is open for you right now in Springdale. The best steaks, wings, salads, and hands down, it's the best sports bar vibe that we've ever been to. The All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater on Sunset in Springdale. Also perfect for Easter brunch or treating mom on Mother's Day or celebrating the big graduation dinner. Download their app on Google Play or the App Store. You can order, pickup, or delivery, even book a private room for your next event at the All-American Steakhouse in Springdale. Great food and great sports. Here on halftime, our phone number, the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Right back in a moment.
This is halftime. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Even if your bracket is busted, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with a free Sweet 16 bracket and live betting on every remaining tournament game. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and MMA, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our latest
beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats with real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick. Just that classic rap shit.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks for watching.
Get no worries, cyber-safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is.
I guess it's pretty cool, I guess, that Katy Perry and Gayle King and Lauren Sanchez and a few other females that were able to spend the money to get on this Blue Origin flight were able to go up to space. I read, though, Matt, where this was the first all-female space flight since 1963, when a Soviet cosmonaut named Valentina Tereshkova went up by herself for 3 days.
What?
3-day solo flight orbiting the Earth. So talk to me after spending a whole day instead of 10 minutes and 21 seconds in which you got on the flight because, well, you're rich.
I don't know. By yourself, huh? Yeah, what was Amelia Earhart doing back then? Crossing the Atlantic, and then some people are going to space. Would you go to space, Phil, if it was an opportunity for you?
Am I allowed to come back?
Man, that's
Are we moving to space somewhere out there?
It's not up to me. that decision wouldn't be up to me.
If we can make it back, sure, why not? I mean, I love amusement rides, and that to me, that's what this.
How much do you have to train for this? Like
I don't know.
Like, don't you think it would take 8 weeks minimum training to be able to go up there, even if you're just a patron, even if you're just along for the ride?
We can't call them fans, right? Because it's, well, the Masters weekend, everybody's a patron, even if they. It said it spent several minutes in zero gravity and total amazement for several minutes. I read on the story here online. Total amazement. Do you really have to train for like sitting there? I don't know if they were even able to get up and sort of float around. It was like, here's what I'd want to do, and I'd want to go to the International Space Station and play baseball with myself. I want to play solitary solo baseball, and I've seen video of a guy doing this, where he just kind of tosses a little pitch, then he floats to the other side while the ball is floating towards him, and then he hits it with a bat, and then floats back to the other side of is room the right word here, and then catches the ball. Yeah, so to me that looks like a lot of fun.
Man, that would be a home run derby up there in Space Station. Let's get it.
Don't be breaking any windows up there, though, Matt, because if that happens, we're all crap out of luck.
Like your movie Armageddon. You brought a gun in space?
877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. 3 Up, 3 Down coming up in about 20 minutes with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center, so it's wide open for you as we get into hour number 2 on a Monday. It's halftime, and we are right back.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
At Phil Wright Autoplex in Russellville,
we know you have many places to buy a car. Our competitive pricing and no-pressure sales team
has made us your premier GMC and Chevrolet dealer in the River Valley for almost 50 years.
Our impressive inventory is changing daily. Shop online 24/7 at philwright.com.
For a simplified buying process, trust Phil Wright Autoplex. Great inventory, great prices, and an overall great buying experience. Exit 84 off I-40, Russellville.
Every Wednesday night, take the kids to Joe's Grill and Cantina. They will get a delicious meal for $5. And Joe's is bringing out the crayons for a coloring contest where the kids can win cool prizes. And the fun is just starting. It's Kids Karaoke Night. Let that star shine. Join Joe's every Wednesday for Kids Night with the fun atmosphere of Joe's. Come for the food, stay for the fun. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
The Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a gradual increase in the sunshine, low 70s north, low 80s south. We will see a decrease in the cloud cover tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-40s north, low 50s south. And then sunshine Tuesday, high temperatures in the mid-60s north, low 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones, my partner. Christian Johnston is producing. We'll do 3 up, 3 down. Dr. Charlie Liggett, River Valley Smile Center, about 15 minutes from right now. So anything you want to get in with us now would be the time. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open at 877-377-6963. Did we assign the unit homework over the weekend, or did we forget?
I think he got one. It was Masters Week, so I think he got one on us today or last week. Yeah.
Man, that's on us.
That's on us. That's right.
That's on us. Teach forgot to give homework. Parents never believed you when you told them that too. They never believed you.
Well, he got the pop quiz right, so it was kind of bonus for him since he got that pop quiz 100% record his first time. So I think we kind of felt good that it maybe something was getting retained.
I was actually pretty impressed that he was able to retain the knowledge of the names of all 4 Beatles so quickly. Took him 10 seconds to remember it, too. I was really, really impressed with that.
And got the 5th Beatle.
Yeah. I was also envious. I'm very envious right now. It's the middle of baseball season. I don't expect to have the ability to do any recreation or, basically do anything that doesn't revolve around this show or the baseball games. But I got envious because Chuck, I was listening, he's kind of previewing it last week. He got to go on a fishing trip over the weekend. And this is the time of the year you want to get out and get out and go do it. So now all of a sudden I'm starting to think there's no baseball Sunday and Monday. Maybe we can get out. Maybe we can get out onto the water at some point, or find a little fishing hole, or maybe drive out to Baum Walker and go fishing in Cam Kozel's lake, in Lake DeBrine. It's like, and this is one of the things I remember. I think the first time you and I ever hosted a show together, Matt, which was at the other station in Little Rock, and I was co-hosting and just filling in. I was telling you I was going to take my son looking for a fishing hole somewhere, and this shows you how inexperienced I was in this kind of conversation. I made the mistake of asking Matt Jones where his favorite fishing hole was, and you just, what kind of an answer did I get?
Well, there's a spot over there that has some water in it, and you take a lure and cast the line out there and see what you can't do. It's like, I don't know. No, but beware any fisherman. It's like they might tell you 2 spots, but they don't tell you their top 18 spots. It's like, I don't know.
That means Cam's got like 18 other places that he
Yeah,
hasn't
you
told
don't know
anybody about.
100%.
Because everybody, if you want to hit like Cam Cosley, you want to hit near 500 in the SEC, just go fishing in Lake DeBrine at least 2 times a week. That ought to fit for you. Boy, I do hate that a major injury over the weekend for the baseball team too, Matt. Nolan Souza injured his right shoulder diving into third base on an ill-advised attempt to advance on a ground ball that was hit right in front of him. He looked like he was in so much pain at that moment. And then for the next 2 days, you could just kind of tell in the dugout, the painkillers work, more than just killing the pain. I know he's got an MRI today, but it doesn't look good. I mean, people have asked, is he going to play again this year? I'd be surprised if he plays again this year. So that puts Gabe Frazier in the starting role at second base. This is one of those next man up situations. And I hate it for Souza because he had been coming around. For one, he's a terrific second baseman. And I think he could be the shortstop next year. He's a really good infielder, very smooth, accurate throwing arm, and just incredibly athletic. I think he could play anywhere in the field. But he was starting to come around to the plate. Not as many swings and misses. Not always trying to hit, 500-foot home run. He was content with a base it up the middle quite often. But it just wasn't a smart play. Look, this injury was not on the turf. The injury is not on the artificial turf. The injury is on Souza for a bad decision, and because it was a bad decision, it's a ground ball left side. It's an easy tag play. All he's trying to do is get around the tag by diving inside third base, so it's an awkward dive. I mean, he's left his shoulder in an awkward situation and landed in a way that you wouldn't if you're just sliding right into third base. That's not on Georgia's field. I hate to put it on someone that was hurt, but it is. I mean, the injury, unfortunately, is Souza's fault.
Hey, when you hit something into like, say you hit a double, and you're taught to hit that inside corner of the base when you're running that.
Yes.
Is that correct? So,
yes.
But let's say you're kind of looking, and you don't touch the white part of that second base. You touch the green part over there, and
there isn't a green part at second, just over at first.
That's what I'm talking about. When you're making the turn, and you just. Does it still count?
Nope.
You're in trouble, right? Yeah,
It only counts on a force play.
Okay.
That's it. But the rule that Souza broke, if you're a runner at second base and there's a ground ball hit in front of you, meaning to shortstop that is hit in front of your eyes, that you see, it's in front of your body, you got to wait and make sure it gets through. Because if you run for third base and the shortstop or third baseman feel that you're dead meat, and he was dead meat at that moment. So it was an overly aggressive base running decision. That cost the team an out, and I think it cost Souza the rest of his season. I hate it for him, but I think he'll come back probably a smarter base runner from that one moment. He'll remember that, and it's unfortunate that sometimes it can take an injury like that to remember about some of those rules, which are hard and fast when it comes to don't make an out at third base. Let's go to the phones. We got a few of them on hold at the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. First up today is Brent. Hey, Brent, how you doing today? What's new?
I'm doing great, Phil. How about you guys?
Great, thank you.
Phil, just wanted to talk a little bit about this. First off, has anything happened in the transfer portal today? I've been out of the pocket getting my lift worked on.
I don't think so. We haven't seen anything over the last hour, but we're hitting the refresh button on the page every 10 seconds.
Hey, Phil, I used to like Wes Johnson.
You don't anymore?
No. He was like a petulant little old man this weekend for the Georgia Bulldogs. I lost. Hey, when he left the Razorbacks for the Minnesota Twins, that was okay. That was great. That was a decision he had to make, right? You had to take that job. But then he left the Twins to go to LSU. That is an unpardonable mistake from a Razorback fan. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. And the way he went through, the way he was hollering at his pitchers when he was talking to himself when he was walking to the mound.
Oh, that cracked
every
me
time.
up. That cracked me up.
I mean, and he was like me talking to himself. I gotta like that, you know. But that was a good series for us this weekend, Phil. I'd rather that we lost 2 or 3 in the regular season than go to Omaha and lose the national championship.
Brent, it's good to hear from you, man. Yeah, that's hilarious. Because Wes always makes me laugh just because he's a unique personality, got a really unique voice, and to me, I just had to crack up every time he goes to the pitcher's mound, and he's like 5'7", and Georgia looks like a basketball team, or at least a group of linebackers. I mean, there would be like 4 6'5" guys all around him, and he's looking up at him, and he's shouting at one of them. I think Wes is. I think he was a great pitching coach. I think he's a really good head coach too. And all he's doing is advocating for his team. And I don't think anybody in the Arkansas dugout has any problem with Wes Johnson. I think Brent doesn't like other coaches that aren't Razorback coaches, which is fine.
Georgia looked athletic. They kind of reminded me of Coach Cal's Arkansas Razorback team this last year as far as they still making errors to hurt themselves, but they got a lot of talent to kind of overcome it, kind of learning how to be baseball players. But I thought they had a couple dudes that looked extremely athletic.
I think Georgia may have to figure out the catching position in some situations because they had 3 different catchers start a game this weekend, and that's rare. It's like if you don't have if you have 3 catchers, do you have one? It's the same with quarterbacks. Here's the tuna. Charlie, good afternoon, Charlie. What's going on?
Speaking of personalities, unique personalities, not me, talking about you guys, not the tuna. But, Phil, I actually agree with Brent. I think I know a lot of people are going to call in here, and there probably have already been a few, a little bit negative about the weekend. But, look, I've said it before. I want to see what happens when this team loses a series. And, look, to be honest with you, I love how Dave, he talked about after the game, you know what, even if we'd have won that game yesterday somehow, but I was going to be honest with him and tell them they didn't play well because they didn't play well yesterday. I mean, if you think about, I think Georgia had 5 errors, maybe more. We had 1. To be honest, Georgia probably should have lost that game yesterday. We just didn't take advantage of it. But give Georgia all the credit in the world. As Matt said, they got some dudes now. I mean, and you go up 3-0 in the count, and then it's 3-1, and he's sitting fastball. I mean, hey, I give the kid credit. He made a heck of a, swing on it. And, I think our pitchers, other than Geichel, I mean, I thought everybody played fairly well. You're not going to be perfect against a lineup like that. Was it Root on Friday? He had a guy on second and third, and he struck out their next 2 best their top 2 batters.
It's the 2 guys, Burnett and Zeborowski, that had combined for 102 runs batted in. So, I mean, that was
insane.
That was a big moment. I think you're getting Friday starts, the quality Friday starts from Zach Root. What you need now is to get quality starts from your other 2 pitchers as well. And with Beidelshees, it's been hot and cold, and with Gackel, it's been much more cold. And the biggest aspect of this last weekend is they won a game on the road and didn't get swept. Like, you can always point to that 2018 team that did not win a road series, but you know what they did? They won a game in every one of those series. So they never got swept on the road. And to me, look, LSU got swept at Auburn this last weekend. Auburn is pretty darn good, but I just don't think you see a lot of teams that get swept that end up in the College World Series. Lose a series is one thing. Lose 3 in a row, that's the kind of thing that championship teams don't do too often.
And you're right. And Gage Wood I'm hoping that Gage Wood coming back at some point can put some competition out there. Maybe Geichel falls to 3 or something, or falls to the pen. I thought Beidelshees at least, responded. Here's the thing. At some point, though, against a team like that, you got to score some runs. It's like scoring points in basketball. You got to put some runs on the board, and Arkansas just did not do that yesterday. But I want to see how they respond to a loss. That's what I want to see. Y'all have a good one.
Okay, thanks a lot, Tuna. Good to hear from you. And think about this, too. It's like, for as poorly as they might have played, they were an out away from winning that ball game yesterday. and they made a great play to nearly cut down the tying run in the 11th inning. You can twist yourself around with these things, but those two things are true. Ryan in Hot Springs will take us into the break. Ryan, good to hear from you. What's up?
Oh, not a whole lot. I got to tell you something. I don't know if you realize this, but I'm pretty sure we swept Mississippi State.
Yeah.
In Fayetteville the year they won.
That's right, and I think that's an outlier. I think that's an outlier, and I think if you were to look at Ole Miss the next year, because they weren't really very good until about more than halfway through the season, I'll bet you Ole Miss was swept that year too.
Right. So I had a question for you. What out did Sousa? What out was that Sousa got out on?
Oh, let me look back here.
I didn't get to watch that game. I was actually having to work that day, so I didn't get to. Because the reason why I was saying that is a buddy of mine that I've kind of talked about a little bit on the air here. He's a big time against sliding in head first, and soon as he heard that, he was like, that's why you don't slide in head first.
Yeah, it's true. It was the second out of that inning. Regardless of what out it was, it's a matter. You don't want to make the first or the third out at third base. That's understood. But it's more the rule, and the diving in. Yes, that's an aspect of it. But you're also, if you're going to avoid a tag, usually you're going to be diving in.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because he's always harping on what you just said. He said that's a cardinal rule. You don't make the first out at first and last out at third. Don't do it. It's So I just thought that I was thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm only recently a baseball fan in the last 10 years, maybe 12, and what I've learned from baseball has been from him. So I just kind of, But hey, so I do have a question for you, Phil, because I didn't know you were into fishing. What kind of fishing are you looking to do, sir?
Well, we've been up to the White River a few times up at Gaston's, and the trout fishing's just been a heck of a lot of fun. Our buddy Philip Rice has taken us out on the White a few times.
Right. Well, I hope y'all find some, and hope y'all catch a bunch. And I do got to add one thing to what Matt said. He was talking about fishermen won't tell you their stuff. That depends. If you're in their circle, then yes, they'll share it with you. But if you're not in their circle, he is absolutely correct.
Well, I think I'm in his circle now, but that was the first time we ever hosted a show together. So he was still kind of like not very sure about me. But now if I asked him, and maybe I will by the end of the show, I bet you I'd get, but not over a radio station. That's the thing, because the thousands of people that are listening are probably not all in that very inner circle. Ryan, good to hear from you. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hey, speaking of fishing, if you want to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button, Lurnet.com has all the brands that you're looking for: Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. The site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you will not find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Free shipping on Lurnet.com for all U.S. orders over $35, so you can treat yourself, your favorite fishing buddy, or whomever to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Lurnet.com today. 3 up, 3 down with Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center next on Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Davalon, a swing and a drive into right field. Back going Humphrey. Humphrey's at the wall, and it's gone. Davalon's hit a second.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Even if your bracket is busted, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with a free Sweet 16 bracket and live betting on every remaining tournament game. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and MMA, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the luxe you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat tricks. Just that classic rap shit.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks for what?
EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Just one little kiss before I go,
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Our second segment on a Monday. The Doc is in the studio today, so let's hit 3 up, 3 down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett, it's great to have you in studio today. Why not on the phone? And what is the difference? What when you wake up in the morning, you just say, well, I'm going to go in studio, I'm going to do the phone. Is it a matter that you just had to be around Matt Jones again? You needed that aura around you?
Whoa. I'm off every other Monday, and so on the days that I'm off, I come to the studio. On the days that I'm not, I call in from the
Well, there you go. All right, fine. That works. You could have just given it to the
Yeah,
Matt
no
Jones
one
aura.
else. No one wants to spend that much time with me. Come on, man.
All right, I got my first up. My first up is a little jealous, a little envious of this situation here. So after Saturday's game, and I went and found my favorite restaurant in Athens, got back into the hotel, turned on the final period of the NCAA Frozen Four championship game. Western Michigan won their first ever NCAA hockey championship, and it's the only sport that Western Michigan really can compete at in a national level. They beat Blue Blood Boston University for the championship cup. My brother, I've talked about this before, my brother-in-law, who my sister has been married to for, it's been, I think, 9 years, and they've been a couple for 25 or 30 years. He is the athletics director at Western Michigan University, and this is the second national title that he's been a part of. The other one was Oregon State's 2018 national championship in baseball, which you remember who they beat in that series. Now I've known him not his whole life. He's from our neighborhood in Pittsburgh. He and my sister went to high school together, so this is a lovely love story and a very successful love story. And he's going to be running a major, I think, Power 4 athletic department at some point. I think this is 4th year as the AD at Western Michigan. So I'll give a big up to the Broncos, but man, I have to just say I'm proud of him, and I'm very happy for him, but I'm also just a lot envious about 2 natties. But that one was well-deserved. It was super exciting to watch, and just the folks in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I don't know, what do you do? I watched them cutting the nets. They cut the net at the goal, and that's what they celebrate with. But do the fans, what do you do?
They use it for dental floss. That's why they
dental floss for
a hockey player. That's
alligator,
that's
maybe.
Good. Yeah,
well,
see,
it's true. You're right.
You see eviction. I mean, it's like he's a gangster.
You get a hole in your mouth like that. Yes, some twine will fit through there. First down goes to, and I don't know if this is like, did he really mean to do this? John Heyman, who's been a national baseball writer for decades now. I think he was at CBS Sports for a long time. He might still be there. Was this inadvertent? He tweeted a list of 103 baseball players that apparently had taken a voluntary drug test with the idea, and this would have been in 2007 or 8, I think, with the idea that these tests would never, the results would never be made public. Well, Heyman apparently made the results public yesterday and then deleted the tweet after 20 or 25 or 30 seconds, but it was up there long enough for people to get screenshots of them. And so you see some of these names that are on this list here. Ryan Klesko, Todd Helton, just kind of, Barry Bonds is on the list. Troy Gloss, Francisco Rodriguez, A-Rod, Wangan, Rafael Palmeiro. Just kind of wild to see this list come out. And you wonder, how do you inadvertently send a tweet? Just kind of wild. So that'd be my first down.
Hey, my first up would be to Rory McIlroy becoming just he was a hero, now he's a legend. I mean, there's only 5 other golfers in the world that have won the career Grand Slam, and he's the 6th one on the list. I've always held him in high regard of being one of the best golfers on the planet. I think it just kind of solidifies his legacy that he's 35 years old. There's no question in my mind that Rory's an all-time top 10 golfer to ever play the game. So good for him. And then my first down goes to whatever's going on with Tennessee. I don't know. I guess we don't know the whole story because there's not a lot of transparency. But man, you had a quarterback, Josh Heupel. Who wouldn't want to go play for Josh Heupel? Played at OU, won a national title. He seems to kind of have some type of sense how to work and develop and get quarterbacks better. I'm a Josh Heupel fan, but we'll see. We'll see where he ends up.
Good for him calling the bluff, though, man.
Right. And that's kind of what I guess we had talked about with like guys like Carter Knox, or if you get a good player, other teams are going to go push up the price. They're going to come in there and find out, hey, what can I get? Because somebody's probably told them he can get a certain amount. Then you go back to them, and it's like they can't do it.
Dr. Liggett, go for it. You're first.
First up, we had a tough weekend of baseball because we lost those 2 games, but it was good baseball. We played good. I'm not discouraged in the team. I mean, I think we're still the best team in the country, but there were definitely some positives to take out of the weekend. I mean, seeing Christian Fouch come in there and throw for the second straight time like he's supposed to, it's like getting another reliever out of the pen. I think that's really, really important for us down the road. Ryder Helfrich is really coming into his own with 3 home runs on the weekend. He looked good in just about every at-bat, had some really good swings. I mean, you can't say enough about Gabe Frazier having to come in that situation and hits I think it was the go-ahead run, triple off the wall in his first at-bat. I think he's going to be tough. You don't really lose a whole lot in speed. Souza's probably a little bit better defender, probably a little bit better hitter, but I think he'll be a good replacement. I think that Jimenez is the best reliever that we got out of the pen, and he pretty much showed that.
And I think he'll stay in relief too. I think with a change this weekend, my guess is you'd be Bybee, and the reason is it's not just because Bybee's started previously.
Yeah.
It's because Jimenez pitched twice this last weekend. If you're a reliever that can pitch twice in a weekend, and I understand he gave up the game-tying hit in the 11th inning, but he was still really good, even in both games. That's an amazingly important role, even potentially more important than going back in and starting. So
I think so. You got a guy who can give you a good, solid couple innings, sometimes 3, and just close the door. You can't really lose that. I think he's important to us. And lastly, Dylan Carter, man, has looked really good. I think he went 6 up, 6 down on Friday. So that's nice to have him out of the pen too. I'm really happy with our bullpen this year.
Right.
And first down goes to Nolan Souza. I hate everything about that. Like you said, he never the ball hit in front of you. You can't advance right there, especially with Kojal was on deck. It just it's a bad situation. I know if Souza had to do it again, obviously he wouldn't go, but that's the way it goes, and I hate it for him. But let's go Frazier.
All right, my second up goes to UFC featherweight John Silva. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly. He choked out Thug Nazi with a ninja choke in the second round. What was that, on Saturday? Was fantastic. It's the only fight anybody's talking about from that. Thug Nazi, last 5 fights, 2 submission losses and a knockout loss. I don't know, maybe it's time to retire and start a podcast. Oh, wait, that didn't really work very well the first time around. Second down goes to the spring football portal. College football has put itself in a spot, or I guess the NCAA has put itself in a spot where you have now allowed teams and coaches to be, quote unquote, held hostage because of this spring portal season that coincides with the end or in the middle of spring football practice. And it's a terrible look for college football. And I don't think there should be a spring portal. But watch the Hogs take advantage of the portal this time around, just like they did last year for defensive purposes. So that would be my second down. Matt, go ahead.
Let's do it. All right. Liverpool, it was madness. Talk about theater. The 86th minute, it's a 1-0 game. Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robinson, both defenders. Virgil van Dijk used to be Troy Polamalu. Used to be the best defense. He's a free. Used to be the best in the world. Now I think it's Rudiger at Real Madrid, but kind of a little mess up. Own goal goes 1-1. Not 3 minutes later, Liverpool gets a corner kick. The captain, Van Dijk, comes in with a header, goes up 2-1, and now the Reds are 6 points away from getting a Guard of Honor and lifting the Premier League trophy. So that was pretty cool. And then the NBA, I guess it's good to be Bud Holzer because he's probably getting a lot of a lot of money, but man, just can't seem to hold down a job. They were 1-9 in their last 10 to finish the season, 36-46, and it looked like that team had quit on them because they haven't been playing defense. It's just one of those. You get a veteran team, they're not really doing how good they are, but maybe he lost the locker room. You don't know, but it's crazy. NBA championship with the Bucks, coach of the year, and can't seem to hold a job.
That's wild. That's wild. I mean, with the way that he exited, that he was forced out against by Milwaukee, and now this 1-year deal with Phoenix. Can't imagine he's going to be coaching a team this next year. Maybe need a year off from that. Dr. Liggett, go ahead.
Up number 2, Oklahoma City Thunder finished the season with a point differential of plus 1,055. That's the biggest in NBA history. That's crazy to think.
So let's give him the NBA championship now, right?
Yeah, but hey, I thought this was kind of cool too. So Jalen Williams has 3 triple-doubles since March 7th. With 3 triple-doubles, that gives him more than 99.1% of NBA players ever.
Oh, wow. Ever, yeah. Wow.
Pretty crazy stat. But
that is a wild one. All right, I got a third up, and it's to Chris Paul. At the age of 39 years and nearly up to age 40. He's got a birthday coming up in like 13 days. Chris Paul became the oldest player in NBA history to play and start every game of the regular season. He played a full 82 games. He hadn't done that in 10 years. 82 games in the NBA, averaging 28 minutes at the age of 38 and into 39. Like, to me, that's an achievement in and of itself. So it's pretty amazing for Chris Paul. He was a definite future Hall of Famer. Third down goes to, here's another reason why I can really dislike my hometown Major League Baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not only do they not even care about trying to put a team together to win a game, they have insulted their fans in a way that I've never heard of before. When PNC Park opened in 2001, fans were given an opportunity to buy bricks that they could put a message about their family or whatever on a brick, and it was all outside all of the gates. My father bought a brick that celebrated me and my sister, and just right that you would always have a chance to go walk over, look at it when you go to a Pirates game. It's kind of like the walk of graduates at the University of Arkansas, okay? Well, imagine if the University of Arkansas decided, without telling anybody they were going to do this, to tear up the entire graduate walk and just throw it in the recycling bin and not replace it. That's what the Pirates did with these Bucko bricks that people put their sentimental messages on about their families from 25 years ago. They tore them up and threw them in the trash and didn't tell anybody. I mean, don't put a team together that's worth rooting for. This also shows you literally have no idea how to run a business or how to connect with your paying customers. So you can go screw yourselves. Go ahead.
You can go screw yourself, San Diego's. Don't you know Ron Burgundy will read anything on the teleprompter? Who put that on there? My third up goes to their soccer today. Bournemouth, they host Fulham today at 2. Champions League, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's just 3 days, just awesomeness. I love it. And then my third down goes to me. Back-to-back years, the first Razorback game I watch, they take an L. So, but the second Razorback game I watched, they won. So maybe I should wait till they go to Omaha before I watch another baseball game.
I don't know. We need a win Thursday, Matt. A&M comes in red hot. Will you watch Thursday's game instead?
Maybe Saturday.
Okay. All right. What's our last one? Dr. Liggett, go ahead.
Okay, my last up is for anybody in the Fort Smith area. Tonight and tomorrow night, Northside's playing Southside baseball. And McLean Moody will throw one of those games. And he's a Arkansas commit, has looked really good this year, and is going to be really tough. So I'm excited to get out and see him throw. Matt and I are both Northside alumni. So
the Grizzly Bears. Are they still the Grizzly Bears, or have they changed their – because Southside's the Mavericks now, but yeah the Grizzlies. All right.
And my last down is just from the game. We chased so many pitches, and I mean, just especially Iredale. How many times did you see him 2-0 and chasing his outside slider? I think, and that's been kind of a common thing for the last this series, and then even a little bit in the games before. So hopefully we can get that straightened out and move forward.
I think Iredale's a good hitter, but they've also you can work him in and out. That's why he's getting hit by so many pitches, and I think that's what Georgia did too. Strike zone a little bit tall.
Oh my god,
and short on
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, well,
I mean we're getting ankle and neck strikes on Saturday. That was
that January?
That was Javero January. That's right. Yeah, he's I think we may have had some issues with him a couple years ago. Pretty sure I remember that. Well, always appreciate this segment. 3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. Matt is a patient of Dr. Liggett, and you can be too.
Absolutely. Get out there, check them out, man. The weather's perfect out there, and get out there and have a beautiful smile, and they'll take good care of you.
Dr. Liggett, I know we've talked a lot about sedation dentistry. You also offer children's dentistry as well. Is that what ages do you guys will River Valley Smile Center welcome into the office?
Well, we really start seeing people, I'd probably say 7 or 8. If you have a problem seeing the dentist, then we'll definitely send you to a pediatric office. But we'll basically see your whole family. But one thing, Phil, I wanted to mention is this weekend, Easter weekend, we're sponsoring an Easter egg hunt at Ben Guerin Park, and it's for the community. We've got games and food trucks, and it's a whole fun ordeal. And there's big Easter egg hunts and lots of gifts and giveaways. So we'd like for everybody to come out that can.
What are the times that this is happening?
It starts about 9:00, and it's usually over a little after lunch, something like that. Once the Easter egg hunts start, they go fast. It's quick.
Pretty exciting stuff, actually, when you watch them.
Yeah.
You even get parents, gambling on who's going to collect the most eggs. Dr. Liggett, always appreciate you stopping by. You can call River Valley Smile Center for an appointment at 479-646-0706, rivervalleysmiles.com, the website. Doc, take us home.
Come see us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, your family.
Stay with us. Halftime back in just a moment.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is Halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Halftime.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. 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 I went to school and I got the big D.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, it looks like there's a very important visit happening. I don't know if it's right now, but it's certainly today. Former Florida State forward Malik Ewan is scheduled to visit the Razorbacks today. 6'11", 230 pounds. 30 starts at center last year as a junior, 14 points, 7.5 rebounds, about 60% from the field, 65% from the free throw line. Richard Davenport had reported that his other top schools were Auburn, Kansas, Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State.
What was one of the things I would want to know, Phil, is during conference play, how many minutes per game did he play? Did he play? Is he a guy that only plays 17 minutes a game, or is he somebody you can count on to play 34 minutes a game? So it's kind of one of those, you'd kind of wonder about that a little bit.
Well, it's that big man that you'd be looking for. But I think right now, a lot of Razorback fans just want to hear something, just want to have some sort of commitment, just to know that they've got a player. Because Auburn's got a big commit. It looks like Kentucky's got 5 commits out of the portal. Now, admittedly, I think Kentucky had a lot more to replace, just in terms of who was going to be leaving the program to begin with. And it was a frozen weekend, a quiet weekend, a nothing weekend in terms of any kind of information for men's basketball. Women's basketball brought in some recruits. And, these are no surprise because Coach Music has 2 of her best players from Oral Roberts now coming in to Arkansas. Leading scorer Talia Jones and the Summit League's Freshman of the Year, 5'11", forward, and Emily Robinson have committed to Arkansas. So I know they got 3 out of the portal in Jones, Robinson, and Wyvate Mayberry. All of them are either former Tulsa players. I know Mayberry came from Kansas but was Tulsa before, and then ORU. In terms of Jones and Robinson. So, but again, you got 3 players coming in. You've had a lot that have already gone into the portal, and I saw where Phoenix Stotine committed to Indiana. She started quite a bit this last year, showed some signs, very athletic. And not only Phoenix, nobody else is committed, but Kiki Smith in the portal, Carly Johnson, Vera Ojenua, Carly Keats. Sanchez went into the portal, came out, so I think she's still a Razorback. Jenna Lawrence, with her former high school coach, now an assistant at Arkansas, that should pay big dividends, because I think with Jenna, there's some talent there that hasn't necessarily translated to production. Haven't seen anything about Jada Bates. It looked like there's some talent there, and same with Danica Galea and Pinya Ponanen. So I'm assuming that they're still on the team, but the roster online, you don't see anything there right now. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Quick break, wrap up the second hour right after this.
This is halftime.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
It's a Woo Pig weekend. Join us on the Hill for Arkansas football's free red and white spring game and autograph session on Saturday, April 19th. Hog baseball versus Texas A&M starts our annual weekend celebration on Thursday night, followed by a Razorback softball series and football's free spring game. For full weekend details, visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com. And we will see you April 17th through the 19th.
Touchdown, Arkansas! Arkansas wins!
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Hit the greens for a meaningful cause at Mercy Fort Smith's Birdies for Babies Golf Classic on May 12th at Hardscrabble Country Club. This 4-person scramble features morning and afternoon tee times, with all proceeds benefiting maternal child services and our Level 3A NICU, helping keep families close to home. Enjoy a great day of golf while helping provide essential care for moms and babies right here in the community. Sign up today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies4babies or call 479-314-1133 for more information.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Girl, Mrs. Mitch. Oh yeah. She's acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand, like a lizard on a window pane. The man in the crowd with the multicolored mirrors on his hobnail boots, lying with his eyes while his hands are busy working overtime. A soap impression of his wife, which he ate and donated to the National Trust.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Hey, what would it be like the birthdays for teammates that are exactly the same age? I didn't realize this, but in the 90s, the Braves had 2 guys that were exactly the same age, David Justice and Greg Maddux. Both share a birthday today. They both turned 59 years old. So, and yeah, I mean, one would be older than the other just based on minutes, but they're practically twins, Matt. They just don't really look very much alike.
Maddox was the better golfer of the two, I believe. David Justice had him in the batter's box. Who would you take if I said both guys in their prime? Who you taking first, David Justice or Greg Maddux?
I would take Greg Maddux because I have a feeling as good of a hitter as Justice was, Maddux would school him.
I'm talking both players in their prime. We're getting them at the peak of their powers. You think advantage? I think I would take Greg Maddux as well.
See, the thing is when they were in their prime, they were on the same team. So it's like, how often would they have ever faced each other like that? That's but you're right. I would have. Here's the other one too. There was another teammate of them at the same time that had the same birthday. He was just 4 years younger, Steve Avery, I hated Steve Avery because he was, more than any pitcher on those Braves teams, he was the reason that they beat the Pirates back-to-back years. They just could not handle that 97-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Man, Baker Mayfield turns 30 today. Watch out Dixon Street. He's got to make it back at some point, I would figure. And Pete Rose. Today's his 84th birthday, but the first one since he was born that he's not around for it. I would love to have seen Greg Maddux against Pete Rose, Matt.
Ooh, man, that's the best, right? As far as collection of hits, Pete Rose still has the most hits in MLB. Yeah,
I think the end of his playing career. I think Rose's last season as a player manager was 86.
I'd like to see the great Tony Gwynn. I know it's not his birthday today, but if we're just playing fantasy today, Greg Maddux versus Tony Gwynn, I would be all up for seeing that battle. The way they both think about it, the way they go about it, I'd love that.
Well, I think you're about a year away from a Pete Rose versus Greg Maddux. I think Maddox's rookie season with the Cubs was 87. I think the year before was when Rose retired. That would have been a really fun matchup. Of course, we also know David Justice for complaining that he had to
soda money.
Pay for $1 for soda in the Athletics clubhouse. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Into the third hour right after this.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Tommy Craft Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mazard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a gradual increase in the sunshine, low 70s north, low 80s south. We will see a decrease in the cloud cover tonight. Overnight lows will drop down mid-40s north, low 50s south. And then sunshine Tuesday, high temperatures in the mid-60s north, low 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, kids dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to halftime. I know the NBA regular season ended yesterday, Matt. You know how people will debate this sometimes with the NCAA tournament. Does the play-in round count as the tournament? You'd ask the same thing about this play-in tournament for the for the NBA playoffs, and I'll tell you how ESPN views it. They don't call it the playoffs on ESPN because you click on the playoffs bracket on the ESPN website, and it doesn't show anything about the play-in tournament. It doesn't even show the teams that are involved in it. So the network that will be, I don't know who airs the play-in tournament, but I know ESPN will show plenty of playoffs. They don't even count this play-in deal, which the Warriors are now knocked into as part of the postseason.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Nuggets, Clippers, wow. You know, if Kawhi Leonard's healthy. You know, your boy, the Joker, was in the top 3 in assists, steals, points, and rebounds, like in the all of NBA this year. You know, because you got SGA led the league in scoring, and they're like, that's the MVP. I'm telling you, I'm taking the Joker over anybody else in the game of basketball right now if he's healthy. And then Luka might be the second. You know, you're going to get the Lakers versus the young Timberwolves. Man, it's I still think it's Cleveland or the Celtics out of the East. I think it's a 2-team race to 100% out of the East. But the West, it's like, man, that nobody's talking about the Rockets. The Thunder have the best young team with the best record. Nobody's really giving the Thunder a chance. It's going to be interesting.
what was the number of points they'd outscored their opponents by this year? The Thunder outscoring opponents by an average of 13 points per game, which over an 82 game schedule, they've outscored their opponents by over 1,066 points. Craziness. And you'll look, I think a lot of times you look to point differential. Football, you do this in baseball too, and sometimes there's an equation
correlation there.
Yeah, between point or run differential and a final record of a team. So why not the Thunder? Why not the Thunder, Matt?
I'm pulling. They got some Arkansas kids on their team. 100%. I'm pulling for the Thunder. Basketball's tricky. You just go back to the beginning of time. You don't really come in. You kind of got to climb the mountain, so to speak. I don't think this Oklahoma City Thunder would beat the team that Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, that team that made it to the finals. I would take that Thunder team over this Thunder team.
So in the last segment, we brought up the idea of some of these great, the guys who share the birthday on those great Braves teams in the 90s. And you'd asked about how did Tony Gwynn do against Greg Maddux? Jeff in Fayetteville texted on the Lewis Automotive Group text line. Their website, so you can find this information very easily. Statmuse.com is one of them. And this has got to be shocking. You know, nobody looked at Greg Maddux necessarily as a strikeout pitcher, but then you look at his career and he had over 3,000 of them. He had plenty of strikeouts. You know that Tony Gwynn faced Greg Maddux 91 times. You actually 101 times when you count 103 times when you count the 2 sacrifice bunts he had against him, the 10 walks, and 91 at-bats. Tony Gwynn never struck out against Greg Maddux in 103 plate appearances, and he hit .429 against him.
Underrated Tony Gwynn. I would go to argue with you, Phil, that I will not argue with you, but Tony Gwynn probably never struck out twice in a game more than 5 times in his entire career. How many times did Tony Gwynn strike out twice in a baseball game? There's no way.
You are reminding me right now of my baseball partner, Bubba Carpenter, because now he knows if he asks a question and I don't have the answer to it, then I immediately want to go find the answer to it.
I'll try to look it up.
And you could do it like on the Baseball Reference website. You could go look up every one of the game logs that he played throughout his entire career, which for Gwynn, I think was 82 through 2002? You could go look it up yourself. You could look it up. I think that was a phrase that Casey Stengel brought up. Yeah, and then
he had 45 games with 4 or more hits, and he had 34 games where he had 2 or more strikeouts.
Yeah, I don't think everybody in today's day and age, because of how they're taught to play baseball, necessarily could have played it at every era. Gwynn could play in any era. I don't think there's no two ways about that. Gwynn could play in absolutely any era. And then I looked. So the guy who struck him out the most was Nolan Ryan, and he struck Gwynn out 9 times in something like 63 plate appearances. Which, you know, for Nolan, if he had to face somebody 63 times, he's probably striking them out like 15 or 20 times. So it's pretty amazing. It's a completely different way than the game is played now. Completely different. Yeah, Aaron's right. When you look at his career, Gwynn might have had less strikeouts in his career than some player or
than Giancarlo Stanton has in a season.
That's exactly right. I mean, now I don't know if it's as, you know, if it happens as often now as it did maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the 200 strikeout season. Tony Gwynn. Why am I looking at his brother's numbers? Tony Gwynn, that's his son's numbers. He struck out a total of 434 times in his career. So that would be the equivalent of about 2.5 seasons for Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge.
That's still wild. It always makes me think of the Larry Fitzgerald stat that, you know, he had less drops in his entire career than Terrell Owens had in a season, you know, and they're both Hall of Fame receivers.
So, I mean, we talk about baseball in today's day and age and how, you know, it's a different game. Nobody cares about the strikeouts and everything. Did anybody talk about the position of wide receiver in the same way? They don't play the game the way that they used to.
I think, well, there's different rules, but I think Terrell Owens and Larry Fitzgerald both played the game the right way. I think they were both amazing talents.
Even if you were, and look, people had their hard opinions about Terrell Owens because of.
He's a little goofy off the field. He likes him to me. We kind of get that.
Well, in running to the star and everything, but then, eventually played for the team. But how could you not have respected when he goes and plays in a Super Bowl on basically one ankle and almost willed those Eagles to that championship? That, to me, you point out of Willis Reed moment and all of that. I don't think Willis Reed actually played that much in that game. I'm not trying to take the glory away because he did come back and ended up, making some big plays when he was injured. But Terrell Owens played like the whole game on one leg or one ankle. Just amazing when you think about how well he played in that game.
Kind of like the Kurt Schilling bloody sock game, maybe. It's
well, that's got. See, there's always been the was that real blood aspect of it too, which I think it was real blood. The thing with Schilling, and it's like a little bit of the same with Gwynn.
Goofy off the field.
Schilling,
yes, yeah,
it's a little bit of the same with Owens. Unfortunately, we let our opinions of the athlete's personality or political beliefs or the way they treat somebody off the field, because Schilling can be a real jerk. But the guy was amazing, especially in the postseason. The fact that Kurt Schilling isn't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Schilling was, to me, he was absolutely a Hall of Famer, but he's not in because, and it's not, the word isn't vendetta. I think sometimes voters just have a real difficult time voting for somebody that they personally don't like or don't agree with the way they live their life. And I don't think that's the way you're really supposed to be voting on Hall of Fame. Schilling's a Hall of Famer. Like that bloody sock thing, I don't know. To me, it looked like, what do I know? But I think that was real blood. 877-377-6963 is our number for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. JT said he wanted to apologize for all of the things he said about Jerry Jones based on this whole Pirates deal where they're literally throwing people's memories away and just thinking nobody would care about it very much. That to me, I already brought it up in the 3 up, 3 down segment. If you're a sports team, part of what you're doing is not just on the field and having paying customers. You literally are making people's memories that last the rest of their lives. There's an emotional connection to the team that sometimes I don't really think ownerships, or in some cases administrations in college, have a real understanding of that emotional connection and how it's passed down generation to generation. You have you got a team that has such bad PR because they don't care about winning, but people still pay to go to the games, and they'll go stand on these bricks and point down to it and say, you remember when we took Mom to that game and Mom's been dead for 5 years now, and yet it's right there down on the brick. You get you and your brother's name with your father and your mom's name right there, and you just remember those things. And how can you tear those things up and throw them in the garbage and expect that everybody's just going to be okay with it? Sometimes it comes off to me as those with a lot of money, the kind of money where you can own an organization. You don't really know what it feels like to be the paying customer for anything because you're so used to people catering to you. It just was the worst PR I could imagine. And anyway, I've gone off on them a little bit too much here. 877-377-6963 calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Text out of the 479 says, yeah, didn't the Cardinals do this? I mean, a lot of teams did this. When they built a new ballpark, you would have a whole section outside the gates where people could spend $5, $10, $50, whatever, on putting their family's names on a brick. That's one of my favorite things of the campus at Arkansas. Matt, your name, people's names are going to be on that and for as long as the university exists, going all the way back to when it started. If you've never walked on the graduate walk at the University of Arkansas, I mean, my name's not on there, but I do know people whose names are there, and they take pride in that. If the university, I know it's not an athletic department thing, but if the university were to tear that thing up and not say we're going to replace this and we have to tear it up because it's been beaten up, through weather and all of this. Just the dumbest people, literally the dumbest people. But you get hired for these jobs because you were successful somewhere. You made money somehow. Maybe you were smart about something. You just don't know how to relate to the regular person. I want to root for my hometown team, but it's like, and I feel like this. A lot of people that are Razorback baseball fans, they expect to have a section of the fan base to like root against the baseball team so that they can be right. If you're somebody who doesn't like Nate Thompson, or you always believe they're going to choke, and I actually don't think there's a large group of people that watch the baseball games like that. I think there's a very select few. It's a baseball program that deserves that kind of loyalty because they always try to win. But when it comes to an organization like I'm talking about with the Pirates, if you're not going to try to win and you're not going to respect your customers, what are we doing here? Somebody help me find a major league team worth rooting for. Somebody. The Cardinals aren't any good this year. The Royals. That's exactly who he said. The 479 texter.
Cubbies.
That's what no. Cubbies aren't any good this year either.
Yes, they are.
Not going to go with can't go with I think it's going to be the Kansas City Royals because he said if the Cardinals threw away his dad's brick, he'd become a Royals fan for life.
Just took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers.
I don't know.
Benintendi's still with the Royals?
Who's that?
Arkansan Benintendi?
No, he's with the White Sox.
Yeah,
he's with the White Sox. But the Royals eventually are going to have Jack Caglione, who's at Northwest Arkansas Naturals. It's the closest major league team to Fayetteville. So, and I don't think the ownership will, or any of the people that run the team there, will be crushing bricks with people's families' names all over them. Not at all. Scott wants me to be a Yankee fan. Scott, I think I'd be the only way I'll ever be a Yankee fan is if I have World Series tickets to Yankee Stadium and I can't get them to anywhere else. I'll just be selfish about that. It's the only way I'll ever root for the Yankees. Otherwise, I don't know. If I had to root between the Pirates and the Yankees, I think I'd just watch the NBA playoffs instead. 877-377-6963. Speaking of the NBA playoffs, they're going to have it all at Twin Peaks and Rogers. Best place for all things hoops. Get to your favorite Twin Peaks lodge, which, of course, is in Rogers, where they also have the best happy hour, whatever your preference is. Everything from tequila cocktails, an extensive bourbon category, top-shelf spirits and cocktails served over large ice balls, local crafts, beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails, and don't forget about 29-degree draft beers. Twin Peaks in Rogers, also online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. More TVs, bigger screens, always more to watch at Twin Peaks. Back with more halftime right after this break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster and Rogers.
Usually when I do have some toast, I do that apple butter. Or even a bagel, I'll throw it on the bagel. Yeah. When you have sodium, something that has a lot of salt, and you add some sweet, it's pretty good.
When it comes to flavor, nobody does it better than House of Webster. Locally made jams, jellies, salsas, and sauces for over 90 years.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year. That it is, Edward.
At 810 Billiards and Bowling, we've got everything you need for a good time. Drink up, chow down, rack 'em up, and knock 'em down. In other words, be social. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 7. Catch the big game on our giant screens and check out the newly expanded arcade and mini golf. Oh, and don't forget to try the new double-decker burger. It's a game changer. Let the fun begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Suite F in Fort Smith. See you there.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, Your life can change in an instant, and you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw and Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Get your yard game ready with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Ego has nearly 200,000 5-star reviews from homeowners like you. Ego delivers the power of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Best of all, Ego 56-volt arc lithium batteries are universal, so they fit all 90 tools. Power your yard, power your tailgate, power your life. Learn more at egopowerplus.com.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 5-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Just come and love me like the way you used to.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Greg says he's a Cardinals fan, Hog fan till he dies. Scott wants me to join the Yankees with him. We got Pete that says he's got a brick at Kaufman in Kansas City. He's not trying to get me to be a Royals fan, but that'd be the direction that I would go. I wonder what it would take for fans to leave their fandom behind. I'm not asking you to do that. I just wonder what is it, because I've reached my breaking point with my literally my favorite team of all time.
Maybe
when
you
I
trade
was a
the
kid
best
up until
player.
the age of 18, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm giving up on them.
I was just going to say what Matt was about to say, trading your superstar player for no reason.
Top 3 player on the planet right now. Well, yeah, we don't want him.
It's not a good time to have Nico as your first name, is it?
Ooh.
Well,
what about
yeah,
years of mediocrity? Is that kind of what you're like below par playing? Is that kind of what you're dealing? I mean, do they always trade their best players? I know they let Barry Bonds go years ago, but
that was on his own decor.
Christian, and that's go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to feel as a fan that you're going to be respected by the people that you're spending money on. That you're not going to be made to feel that even though you might have spent that money 25 years ago, that memory of yours is still worth something to you, and it should mean something to the team, that you're investing your time and your love into. It's Cardinal fans, what would it take for you to give up on the Cardinals, right? So you want to feel like you're at least respected as a fan. Right now, the Cardinals don't play the same kind of ball that you remember them playing for all those years. And there always felt like there was some kind of continuity with the organization because of the style that they would play. You even felt that under Tony La Russa. You probably felt that for at least a little bit under Matheny, but it's not quite the same right now. But you don't give up on the team, right? My father did this because he grew up in New York, a Yankee fan, and they moved to Pittsburgh in 75. So he went to see the Pirates and Yankees in the second home game of the season. I told him don't do this, but he did it anyway. He's wearing a Pirates T-shirt underneath a Yankees jersey. It's like I don't know about wearing both teams at the same time, but he's an adult. He can do what he wants. He's a Pirates fan. He's not rooting for the Yankees anymore, but he did it because that's where he moved to, and he got, he ended up. You're going to live there. Maybe that's the team you want to root for. It's not like I moved to Arkansas and all of a sudden, because most people here are Cardinals fans, that I'm going to do the same thing. I just want to feel like my time is respected. My money as a paying customer is respected. But I just don't think that in terms of if you're going to crush those bricks, which are supposed to mean something for everybody that put the money into it, it's disrespectful. We'll get people to walk away, right? So it's I think even the most disappointed Cowboys fan have the Cowboys has Jones insulted you as a customer the same way that I think the Pirates have done to their fans here. That to me is the difference. And I think Jerry Jones wants to win. I think he puts effort into trying to win. Might be misguided the way he's doing it. That also is a little bit different from the way that this Major League Baseball team is doing things. You just want to feel like they're trying to win, and if they're not, that they at least respect you as a customer.
Yeah, ineptitude is not a good quality to have if you're the leader of an organization.
Well, you can't just expect to always have blind loyalty just because somebody grew up wearing your colors and they're always going to feel like that about you. No, I don't think it works that way. I don't think sports works that way. And I think it's different with fans that in their minds have given up on college sports. There have been plenty of people that have told us, you're listening now, but there have been a lot of people that have texted in over the last year, 2 years, that have seen the direction college sports has gone in, and they don't really want to be a part of it. And I think sometimes it's about, it's difficult. You can't necessarily feel like you grow close to a player because you don't get a chance to watch them grow in your program like you used to. The feeling that it's more about the name on the back than the jersey name on the front and all of that. I just also know that the ratings keep going up. Have fans been insulted by this change in college sports? Yeah, I guess that's just a different question to ask, because we've had these situations now that opened up at baseball and now at basketball. It's a different situation because it's more about the money that's been injected into college sports. And, I think the rejiggering of the seating arrangements at Baum and Bud Walton, yes, I think some fans felt insulted by that because they had put their years and years of money, 20, 30 years into those donations and those seats. And then all of a sudden they're told that that donation figure is not worthy of that seat anymore. So they could feel insulted. But I do think there's logic behind these decisions. It's also appreciated that you're going to be disappointing a lot of people that don't either have the ability to make that kind of donation or don't want to do it. But then there's another side of that somebody else is coming in to take the tickets, and they'll be very happy about it. So while one side gets insulted, another side feels they have an opportunity right there in front of them. Throwing away people's memories, that's a different thing. It's a much different thing. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Andy says, when Jerry Jones charges $100 for a pizza, he has disrespected fans. Was there a $100 charge for a pizza? Must have been in a suite. You do see, I think I remember seeing that receipt. Because when it comes to food and suites, it's pretty crazy, the prices that do get charged. I think that was also from AT&T Stadium, Andy. I remember that one. $100 pizza. Matt, it must have been disgusting. Bet you it really wasn't very good.
Man, that's tough. You go places like if you're in Vegas or you're in LA, kind of in some of these bigger cities, you're in a hotel or you order room service. It's like 48% upcharge. It's kind of like location where you are, if you're going to complain, it's like, why do you go to the restaurant and then complain about it? If that's what you're going to go do, either eat before the game or shut up. Why does that, you know what's going, we understand it. It's like, oh, I'm going to go do this, but I'm going to complain about that. He's like, I don't even want to watch the game with you.
I think I'm going to sneak a cup of coffee into the next movie that I watch in the theater. Just make sure I put it in my pocket.
Man, there's a theater in Dallas, and I'm sure you've done it. I saw Midnight in Paris in it, but they have those reclining seats. You get back and you recline. Man, talk about a setup. Those are nice.
Yeah, it's better than your couch.
Yeah.
Well, anything's better than my couch. That thing's gross. Hey, want to remind you about Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville. Love is in the air right now. That's how we're always thinking in springtime. And Swift's been in downtown Fayetteville since 1956 as a trusted name. 27 North Block Avenue, right next to Hugo's. Swift's Jewelry, known for stunning custom designs, specializing in wedding and engagement rings that are as unique as your love story. They can also help you with watch repairs, expert service, keeps you ticking on time. You can check out their dazzling collection on site at 27 North Block Avenue or swiftsjewelry.com. Swift's Jewelry, where timeless elegance and exceptional craftsmanship come together in the heart of Fayetteville. Stay with us. Halftime back in just a moment.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off since I turned 40.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Even if your bracket is busted, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with a free Sweet 16 bracket and live betting on every remaining tournament game. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and MMA, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our
Original beats
latest
and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, no rabbit in a hat tricks. Just that classic rap shit.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks. This Moments of Razorback Sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
On a cruise town underneath the futon, mama said I couldn't need it, cause all my teeth are gone, my personality is based on food now. Take it from Bogdan, he's my veterinarian. His folks are from Croatia, they've been through some shit, man. I seem like such a bitch when I talk about Swedish politics. Or maybe he's Australian, I never really listen when he's talking about himself. When I see my veterinarian, it feels really scary, and I sleep a weird sleep, and I wake up in an area in the back of the facility. The doctors do activities that involve the trade of rotten teeth of exotic breeds, especially. It's Bogdan, my enemy. Does he want the best for me? What's he doing with my teeth? Is he taking them to Australia?
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Now, you know this is just going to be really fun as it goes along during spring portal season. 24/7 Sports is projecting that Nico Iamaleava is going to go to North Carolina and play for Bill Belichick. Out of all the coaches in the world, you would think that's not a guy that you are going to fit in with. That would be the guy. But here's the other aspect of this, too. Regardless of whatever his numbers were last year and however he played against the Razorbacks, he is still 1 year removed from being an incoming freshman who's a five-star talent. And he still is a talented quarterback.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
It's 1 year. You think of the idea of how much somebody can improve from 1 year to the next or 1 year to 2 years later. And the kid's still a prospect, regardless if his name is being dragged through the mud because of this miscalculation that I think more than anything may have to do with his father. But man, I would not have So this also says something about the kind of money that North Carolina would have if he goes there. And we know, I don't remember the dollar figure, was it $12, $13 million or something that was said that Belichick was able to get in terms of NIL money? Because you're not landing Belichick at a basketball school if you're not giving him the war chest he needs to put a proper team together.
Well, you're 100% right, Phil, and it was kind of real shocking. C Unit's boy Jimbo Fisher with his last year at A&M, they go get an offensive mind in Bobby Petrino and then say, no, we're going to still call it my way. But, yeah, you can kind of be here and help. But why don't you want to give him the reins? You got Belichick for, 5 years? Nico, yeah, why not?
Man, that would really be
he's
something.
staying. Here's the thing, too, Phil. You're exactly right. So you're going freshman to sophomore after you got a lot of reps. You're kind of going to a softer division, too. You're not playing in the – so now the speed of the game will be a little bit slower in the SEC – in the ACC than the SEC.
I was just looking up the North Carolina schedule. I mean, it's obviously just a softer schedule than you would be playing at
Tennessee, no question about it.
It does get Clemson.
Yeah, you have two games. You have two big games when you're at UNC. When you're at Tennessee or Bama, or you have 6 big games. So that's the difference.
Could this really? Why would it all be about the highest bidder? Don't you want to develop? Isn't that part of what being a college athlete is about? And I can appreciate the idea you can develop in one place, you can develop in another place. It's just, I would like the idea if I'd been in Tennessee, if I'd been in Knoxville, and they literally went to bat with me against the NCAA for an NIL deal that they put together to bring you there, that you would want to maybe stay in that same system another year, grow a little bit more comfortable with it, have that relationship with the same offensive coordinator and the same head coach. That to me would mean something instead of starting all over again in a place where they're going to be looking at you with jaundiced eyes, expecting that maybe this situation at Tennessee happens the next year.
Well, the question I have is we don't have enough transparency, Phil. If let's say Tennessee's giving them $1.8 million and then UNC says we'll give you 3.6. I mean, what do you can't fault the kid for that, right? I mean, it's Belichick. You start. It's kind of a money grab. I mean, it's wild on the frontier. Whatever you want to say, it's just a great time to be a college athlete. And I don't know how long the players are going to have this much power. But I don't know how you take it back. I don't know if a union takes it back or whatever. But we talk about the NBA being a player-friendly league and kind of the players kind of have the power, especially when you're elite and good. I think right now some of these college quarterbacks have a lot more power than we think.
I think the key is something you had just said. We don't know how long the players will have the power that they have right now. Because at some point, there will be a playing field set up. There will be rules and regulations that will be enforced. And I would expect there would be contracts, too, that would prevent something like this happening at this point in spring ball. It's not there right now. So maybe this is it's like it is a money grab, but maybe it's also a money grab because of the timing that's set around it. If you wait another year, the rules will be in place. And you don't have that power any longer. Because who does have the power now? It's all the players. I mean, they're the ones that have the leverage here. Or at least that's what Yamaliava and his dad, Neek, thought, I think. That they must have. The leverage is you have no other quarterbacks on this roster that have played even 2 or 3 games in college. And you have another guy right here who started every game for you and was good, can get better. And I bet, and I'm just talking as Mr. Iamaliava, and I bet you are really too frightened to go into battle with these 2 freshmen. So we're holding your feet to the fire. You're paying us what we want. And if you don't like it, we'll go find somewhere else to play. And the bluff was called. I can't wait. So that means Tennessee needs a quarterback, too.
Well, stay away from the University of Arkansas stable. We're good right now. That means KJ Jackson. I like him. I think he'll be the starter next year. I don't know who's all coming in or whatever.
Well, I don't think they're going to be going after Nico's brother at Arkansas either.
Hey, I think you understand. So don't not expect it. If the kid gets on, and we just saw it. We saw it with our own eyes. A kid that played against Texas Tech who looked like the Phoenix Suns playing defense this year. They had no defense. He sets records, and then all of a sudden he's gone. There's no loyalty. There's no, hey, I want to continue what I'm doing and try to help. It's just, hey, did you see what I just did against Texas Tech, who can't stop anybody? Okay, so you can't really fault the kids.
So then there's the other side of it. You mentioned Texas Tech. Their top player, JT Toppin, a few days ago, he recommitted to Texas Tech. And reportedly, now they've got a billionaire booster for NIL that is spending money on all of their teams. And apparently Toppin will be making $4 million in NIL earnings for next year.
What a time to be a college athlete. Hey, he's a solid player. Yep. I think he's better than Janai Broome. Janai Broome will never – he'll play 0 second. He's not going to play any meaningful minutes in the NBA. I think Toppin can. And I think that's the best move that Toppin could do is he'd go get drafted and say he's a lottery picker where he goes. He's not going to play. I mean, he's not going to play for 5 years. Go ahead, work on your craft, work your trade, work your skill set, get better, get in the lab, try to add one more move, on your offensive side because he's a beast in the paint. And then Texas Tech, man, they'll be pretty good again next year.
I just wonder, what does the average backup quarterback in the NFL make?
Oh, 2.5 probably. If you're a backup, 1.8. Depends on what your resume is. With escalators and incentives, you could be making 3 or 4. But you're getting tenure. You got to get to 3 years, 3 games to get your full retirement.
And you also remember, they're not paid for what they've done on the field or on the court. These are not the NIL deals. This is for what you're worth out for supposed appearance.
It's not the collective, right? He's getting a collective deal that every player is getting as well.
You just have to laugh about it too, because you're literally just being. It's supposed to be like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of a thing here. And even if this house settlement is approved, well, what's happening at that point is that the universities are essentially buying NIL rights from the athletes, so they're still not being paid for actually playing the sport. It's just because they're famous, slightly famous in some cases, or have a couple thousand followers, or you can say, hey, come out and see so-and-so at this car dealership. We always think that's what it is. It's at least with professional sports, we know what it is they're paid for. They're paid for the production they've done previously and expecting to base hits, home runs, rushing touchdowns, all of that, not paid for what you mean off the field.
College athletes right now are like the Kardashians. It's like, what are you talented for? Being pretty? What are you talented for? Being an athlete? They haven't, you're right, they haven't done it yet. And then professional athletes would be, Daniel Day-Lewis, Tom Hanks. They would be your guys that understand the craft, Benicio del Toro, Steve Buscemi.
Yes, when you know that if you put that person in that movie, you're going to be making a certain amount of money of what you've invested into it.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
They literally have that figured out. College sports is wild. And if this is not approved, this house settlement is not approved very soon, the portal opens in 2 days. There's no rules right now. None. We're going by this idea that it's $20.5 million or $22.5 million, whatever it was. But that's if the thing is approved. Nothing is approved right now. So this whole spring portal season, which also right now, by the way, includes basketball. It's uncapped for basketball too, just like it's uncapped for football, which really means boosters can throw as much money as they want at these guys, and there won't be any guidelines or regulations or rules to actually do something about it. Oh, I got something on my mind right now, Matt. After the show, I'm getting some lunch, and that means I'm going to need something sweet and delicious afterwards to kind of cap it off. Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Pick 6, though. If you can take home 6 of your favorite flavors, you can take them home in a hand-packed half-pint freeze crate. Delicious solid frozen custard blended with fan-favorite toppings and flavors. I'm thinking about the banana split. It's an old classic favorite. Frozen custard, a whole banana covered with delicious strawberries, marshmallow cream, crushed nuts, and topped with a cherry. That's at Andy's Frozen Custard. Locations all around our listening audience: Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Conway, North Little Rock, and Andy's Frozen Custard is always ready to serve you, walk-up or drive-through. Back to wrap up our last hour right after this.
This is halftime.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
He goes to work on his computer. He thinks about his gun at home. One day he's gonna be a shooter. He's gonna bring his gun to work. He thinks about the ones who wronged him. Let the punishment to the face. But things they would play out much different. Back in the time when we were apes. When everybody was a monkey, oh, we had to fight just to survive.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, wrap things up here on halftime today, remembering that the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be coming out shortly, includes all the highlights of the show today, thanks to the one and only C Podcast. Ruskin and Zach coming up in a few moments as well. Stay with them up until 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, as usual, Tuesday, with our friend Alyssa Orange and Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Be interesting to get Bill's perspective on this Nico Iamaleava situation. I think I finally programmed my mouth to pronounce his name properly. It only took since last October when Arkansas played Tennessee, but now it's actually rolling off my mouth and tongue a lot easier. Iamaleava. I heard Ty this morning on the Morning Rush said he was practicing for about 5 minutes. Then the first time he had to say it on the show, it's a really difficult name to say. And they probably won't be saying it as much in Knoxville anytime soon.
It'll be in the Appalachia. That's where they'll be learning how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult in Appalachia to even pronounce that correctly sometimes. Little League baseball. Well, it's not Little League, Matt. My son's got a second game tonight. I think the coach has finally figured out how to make sure that the proper age.
When do y'all play the 8-year-olds? So maybe you can go down and whoop up on somebody. Like when do we get to play them?
Last week, Coach had the 12 and 13-year-olds playing the 15 and 16-year-olds, and it went about as what you would expect. 14-0 final score. Was ugly. So maybe the way that he did it last week was they're all the Cardinals. The American League was supposed to be the younger team. The National League was the older team, and I think he just crossed himself up. So he made it a lot easier on himself. Cardinals minor league is the younger group. Cardinals major league is the older group. And to me, I don't know why you didn't start there. 7:45 first pitch too, which just on a Monday night. Oh gosh, we need to build another ball field so we can actually start these games at 5:15. Swing the bat. Is he going to swing the bat today, Matt?
Go out there. Both teams have fun. Yeah, take you some hacks at it. Have fun, man. That's keep a smile on your face. Enjoy it. Baseball at that age, man. We all remember that. I mean, tell me that wasn't some of the coolest memories of playing baseball with your buddies.
And I will actually be able to watch the game fully without having the National Basketball Championship game on my phone at the same time. That was. It's like I'm paying attention to this Little League game when they're down 10 or 11 or 12 runs and trying to watch a kind of a legendary championship basketball game on a phone screen. So today I can just watch what I'm sure will be a legendary baseball game too. Kind of like last night's game in Georgia. That was That was a really good game.
And then you'll be in studio tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, on my way up to Fayetteville because I got the UAPB and the Hogs tomorrow at Baum Walker. Ruskin and Zach coming up a moment. Good to be back with everybody today. Thanks for all your calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. So for Matt Jones, for the Seat Unit, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Now have a great rest of your day and get up, get out, and get better.